To me, having watched it, and then seeing when these national people came in and talked to us, those of us who were concerned, it was shocking to hear what they sounded like. No comment, it's a legal issue, I can't explain. This is this is Grace Aaron. As she's being asked by the listeners, this is a listener-supported station, being asked about what's happening and what are you doing, and are you trying to get rid of Bernard, and are you trying to get rid of Tom? No comment, no comment, this is a legal issue. You really thought you were talking to, Bush or a real enemy. It sounded like the forces that rule this country, who feel they do not have to explain shit to anyone. And that's how she talked. And that gave you a clue. I mean, I don't know the national people, I know the local people. And I've been involved in BAI for a long time. So to me, seeing who was, that strengthened my sense of who's taking over BAI. And that who is taking over BAI is reflective of what's happening in society. This is retrenchment. And as a white person, I was saying to Bernard before, watching the ideology and the headset of the white, it started with anti-Semitism. I'm Jewish. I survived World War II. I'm very sensitive to anti-Semitism. Bernard will tell me, I've called BAI, and if I hear anything that smacks of it, I will oppose it. But when people use anti-Semitism in an opportunistic way to destroy a force, to divide black people from Jewish people, that is totally, totally unacceptable and dangerous. And that's what they did. They started with that. I remember about 5 years ago, this was anti-Semitic. BAI has a wonderful Jewish program on Sundays. It's excellent, I think, speaking of creative programming. I don't agree with all its politics, but it's a creative, very, very useful program that you won't hear anywhere else. There is no such program, Jewish program, that I know of anywhere else in New York City that's of that quality. It's on BAI. Do people mention that when they're talking about? I mean, I could go on, but the white headset is exactly what Basir and Bernard were saying, but Basir in particular was laying down. If white people don't control something, there is this sense of threat. Too many black people are taking over. I hear this, people say this to me because I'm white. So people say that, they're anti-Semitic. Who's anti-Semitic? I mean, I'm Jew, everybody knows I'm Jewish. I haven't experienced anti-Semitism. I know. I just haven't experienced it. I hear comments that I think are anti-Semitic, but there are many more comments that are racist. Many more comments that are racist. And people don't freak out over that. So to me, this is so close to my heart. I can't say enough about how important I think this station is to building a movement that's a progressive movement, and that this is an inclusive station. Yes, people of color are leading it. But these people coming from California, you know what they do? They go to Bob Fass's show. Bob Fass is a hippie from the 60s. Now, I don't have anything against Bob Fass. He's done good things in his life. But for them to go back to that again, these national people have appeared twice now on his show. He's Thursday nights at midnight, boring as hell to me, who was a hippie. I was a hippie, so I know that movement, but it's irrelevant to this day and age. They go to his program, and that's what they see as a strategic program. And when this woman, Grace Aaron, was asked about programming, she said, well, her two sons, she lives in California, she had a lot of trouble getting them into college. She wants more programming on how to get her, that's middle-class thinking. I'm not against that, but to say that that's what's missing, and they keep saying BAI programming is boring. If what they think is interesting is Bob Fass, so there's a lot, the white supremacy issue to me is fundamental, but you've got to look at the whole context and how they built toward that, and using the anti-Semitic thing in New York City